video is sponsored by Squarespace. What is DTM and why does it matter, especially when you're summer gardening? If you're like me, you might have a spot like this in your garden, a big empty space that has nothing planted. Could be because maybe you just haven't planted anything into it yet. Could be because you had a spring crop in there and you've gotten a harvest out. Maybe you had some early broccoli and cauliflower and you ripped them out and now you have this hole. The reason why you want to know DTM is because you want to know what you can plant in this space to still get a harvest this year. DTM stands for days to maturity, and it tells you how long it's going to take for your plant to get a harvest. Now, it can be a little tricky because sometimes the seed variety that you're growing will say DTM, but it won't be from directly seeding until harvest. It'll be from transplant to harvest. So be careful and watch your growing instructions when they talk about how many days it's going to take. Because if they say that you should start things ahead 6 weeks before planting it out, those days to maturity might need those extra 6 weeks too. One of my favorite resources for finding days to maturity is the Johnny Seeds website. They have excellent growing information. And even if you didn't get your seeds from Johnny's Seeds, it's still going to be an excellent resource. They might still have the information for your specific seed variety, and if not, it's a good general idea. The other really important number that you need to know is how many frost-free days you have in your growing area. For me here, I'm zone 5, I'm in the Okanagan in Canada, and I get a pretty long growing season. We have beautiful September weather here, and I often don't have frost until about Canadian Thanksgiving, which is about mid-October. So I have a really long growing period. With it being end of July, beginning of August, that means that if I have plants that are 60 days, I'm probably good to go. Even though technically I probably have more like 75 days still of frost-free growing, another thing being a northern grower that I need to consider is daylight hours. If I was to plant things at the beginning of June, they're going to grow a lot better than planting stuff at the beginning of August because my daylight hours are shortening by this point. So because of the fact that, my daylight hours are shortening quite a bit, I don't think I'd still be able to get a harvest off of something that says 75 days. Even though I have 75 days, I'm really going to try to be more conservative and grow things that are only 60 days at this point for me. But if you're a little bit more southern, where the day length fluctuates less and you have a longer growing season, even though this feels really late in the year, you might still be able to get lots of harvest time. A lot of the veggies that I currently have in my garden, like tomatoes and peppers and some eggplants, those are things that are not going to be something that I could be planting at this point in my garden. They're just going to need way too many days. But a crop like baby greens here, this is a mustard mix, this could be ready to harvest in as short as 30 days. And lots of greens this is the perfect time to plant. I have some kale plants in here in the garden, and these, the summer kale, they'll survive even though they won't thrive in my heat. But now's the perfect time of year to plant in kale and Swiss chard and even some of those quicker growing root crops like salad turnips, radishes, some quicker beets. All those are really going to enjoy the cooler fall weather and get really good harvests. Flowers, I would have liked to have had this hillside filled in. That's a little bit more tricky at this point. There's not very many flowers that I've grown over the years that have a 60 days to maturity. That's pretty shockingly fast. But if you have pro-cut sunflowers, those are 60 days to flower. You can still plant those right now, get a really nice harvest, especially in the fall when sunflowers look so beautiful. And other things like really quick growing Covent Garden baby's breath, that's another 60-day plant. There are a handful, so make sure to take one more look at any of the seeds that you have on hand. You might have stuff you can still plant. I'd say the one thing that really represented the difference for me of going from a beginner gardener to an intermediate gardener was learning about these DTMs, learning about these days to maturity and learning the way I can really extend my season because of them. You know, went from being, I would plant in, beginning of May, my one summer garden, and all the things would come and be ready to harvest at the same time, to learning there was things I could plant even before we were frost free, things that would thrive in the heat, and fall gardens that could get planted at this time of year. I really encourage you guys. I know that those holes are going to be showing up in all of your gardens too, so take another peek. This is perfect time to be experimenting so you can have the confidence to be planting those fall gardens next year. And a big thank you to my sponsor, Squarespace. One of the things that's most important to know about your business is your numbers, just like your garden. And one of the best way to improve those sales numbers is with a website, and Squarespace can help you with that. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time. All in one place, all on your terms. I love how easy they make it for me to build a website with their cutting-edge design tools like Blueprint AI and a library of professionally designed templates. But that's not all. Squarespace's invoicing and email campaigns simplifies running your business, leaving you more time for your customers. And it's never been easier to offer services like consultations or experiences with tools like built-in appointment scheduling, or even create member-only content to sell courses and more behind a paywall. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/youcaneatthegrass to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.